Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com with a breaking update. According to a report by AL.com's Matt Zenitz, Karl Scott, the Alabama corners coach, will be taking the same position with the Minnesota Vikings in the NFL. Karl Scott, who has been the corners coach at Alabama since the 2018 season, has really helped transform this Alabama secondary. I mean, look at the guys that the secondary continues to pump out, and Karl Scott has done a great job doing that. On the recruiting side, he's definitely known as an ace recruiter. We'll talk about that in just a minute. And he's the fifth assistant coach to leave Nick Saban's staff following the 2020 season, along with Steve Sarkisian, Jeff Banks, Kyle Flood, Charles Huff, and now Karl Scott, who will be going to the NFL. Karl Scott, certainly a highly sought-out name following the 2020 season and works with Nick Saban coaching the corners. Actually, Saban refers to him as a grad assistant when working with the corners. But, there was some talk that Butch Jones, who took the Arkansas State job, was interested in Karl Scott. Nothing ever came from that. It was also reported that Mike Locksley, who's the head football coach at Maryland, was interested in Karl Scott. And now it looks like the NFL has landed Karl Scott, and he'll be going to the Minnesota Vikings. Absolutely, it's going to have some sort of impact. You look at Alabama's returning secondary. There is a good nucleus that's returning besides Patrick Surtain, who's going to the NFL. You return Josh Jobe. You return a couple other corners, and I think there's going to be a position battle during that springtime for that second corner position. But overall, Karl Scott did a fantastic job at Alabama. Nick Saban will have to go after a corner, and as you've seen, he's gone to the NFL. He's replaced his assistants from the past couple seasons with some great additions. I mean, when you're Nick Saban, you have a great reach to go out and get pretty much whoever you want and whoever's available. I think overall, Karl Scott, the biggest impact will be, besides coaching, will be the recruiting aspect. And as you can see right here, he's done a great job spearheading a lot of these top prospects from around the country. As you look at this graphic right here, Karl Scott played an instrumental role in landing the following prospects throughout the last several years: Tommy Brockemeyer, Patrick Surtain, JaQuincy McKinstry, Drew Sanders, Jordan Battle, JoJo Earl, Jace McClellan, and Brian Branch. So as you can see, from the offensive linemen to the defensive backs to linebackers, Karl Scott done a fantastic job for Alabama in the recruiting aspect. Stay with BamaInsider.com as we continue to track more coaching changes, who's coming, who's going, and more roster management back on BamaInsider.com.